Hello and welcome to East Brunswick High School. I'm Gordon Deal and this is Phil Hill getting set for boys high school basketball. East Brunswick with a mark of 9-5 on the season. Hillsborough comes in at 6-7, and we should be a pretty good matchup today.
It should be a good matchup, a cross-conference matchup here. The Bears are playing pretty well. Bears lost a tough game against a good Cerevel team, and the ever-improving Cerevel team came back to beat North Hunterdon rather handily, though. I asked Bo Henning what he thought about this team. He says, I love this team. He says, this is a hard-working team. We don't have the depth that we've had in years gone by, but these kids will do anything I ask of them.
Hillsborough's a big team. They've got some tall guys with a lot of beef. But one of the guys you want to keep an eye on today, Jared Jones, just a freshman, made his mark during football season. His older brother, Eric, was a star quarterback for Hillsborough and now plays at Duke University down in North Carolina. For East Brunswick, though, a lot of senior leadership on this club.
A lot of senior leadership. You're talking about a young man named Caruso, another man, a young man, Vanderrood. Two excellent players, both all-county soccer players, and they just give a lot to this team. Then you have another young man, Tresca, who's the heart and soul of this team, and they work together as a team. That's the big difference.
And with Bo Henning, they can do a lot of different things. They can shoot from the outside with guys like Tresca. They can take it down low to the big men like a Caruso or like a Vanderrood. And not only are they big, but they can run the floor or slow it down.
Exactly. I'm convinced that Bo Henning is one of the best coaches in all of New Jersey. We know that he won the GMC finals last year, but even before that, he's done wonders with the material that he's had, and when he gets good materials, he can take it all.
So it's a little Middlesex County versus Somerset County this afternoon as East Brunswick at 9-5 takes on Hillsborough at 6-7. The opening tip coming up. Take a look at the starting lineups for both clubs. First for visiting Hillsborough. In the backcourt, Dustin Shepard, the 5'10 junior at the guard. Jared Jones, the 6-foot freshman, will also play guard. They'll go with a 3-guard lineup. J.R. Spencer, a 5'10 senior, will be in. Justin Capozzi at 1 forward. He's a 6'5 junior. And Wes Kovac, 6'6 junior, will be at center. East Brunswick starts 4 seniors. Mike Tresca and Kevin James in the backcourt. Dave Vanderrood, Brad Caruso down low, along with forward Brian Schuler. Actually, Schuler will play in the guard spot. He is a 6'3 junior. This is just his 3rd start of the season. East Brunswick comes in with a mark of 9-5. Hillsborough at 6-7.
And I tell you, these cross-conference games are always exciting. There's a little county pride usually involved in here, and Somerset and Middlesex really like to go at each other.
So Vanderrood against Kovac. It's won by Kovac, but collected by Tresca to start things off for East Brunswick. And this is Kevin James. Not much of an away color uniform for Hillsborough.
Really?
East Brunswick in the home white, but Hillsborough in the gold.
Very difficult. Hillsborough starting out in the 2-3 zone, it appears to be.
Here's Tresca on the wing, going cross court for Caruso. Caruso back off the ankle injury he suffered against Hamilton East. Tresca puts it on the floor. Feed for Caruso. Baseline jumper, no. Rebound comes down to Vanderrood. Good work on the glass. Long 3 by Tresca, no good. Rebound Caruso.
And he stepped out of bounds.
That's a turnover by East Brunswick. That's number 1.
Okay, and again, the Raiders come out playing a zone, and the truth of the matter is the Bears don't see too much zone. They're usually used to man-to-man defense playing against them. And, of course, the Bears are in their traditional man-to-man right now.
This is Dustin Shepard putting it on the floor for J.R. Spencer. Up top for Capozzi. This is the freshman, Jared Jones. Keep an eye on this guy. He's going to be a good one.
They tell me he's all kinds of potential.
Yeah. Watch, if you get a chance, he will slash and drive. He's a terrific athlete. Here's Kovac missing the chippy. Capozzi the rebound. Kevin James takes it from both of them. James across the midcourt line. 6:35 to go, opening quarter. Here's Caruso, and a kickball by Dustin Shepard. East Brunswick maintains control. No score yet, just underway. Referees today, Ken Kokoska from Sayreville and Steve Hayter from Monroe. Here's Caruso on the wing, up top for Tresca. They play catch on the perimeter. 2-3 zone by Hillsborough with Spencer and Shepard up top. Here's James backing it off for a Tresca three. This one's good.
I'll tell you.
Doesn't take long for him to get going.
Doesn't take long for him to get going, and when you got him scoring early, it's a big plus. He does so many things well that if he's scoring, it's a real big edge for you.
This is Spencer with the basketball. This is a senior. He'll cross court now for Jones. Here's the jumper. It's good by the freshman.
Nice touch.
3-2. East Brunswick leads. Teams have traded field goals their last trips down the floor. Tresca thinks about the three, now puts it on the floor. Here's Caruso, back for Tresca. Dribble drive, put it out for a Caruso three. Tresca the rebound. Caruso's 55, the free throw line for the big man Vangerud. Caruso on the drive, steps through a double team.
Ooh.
Nice move, laid it up and in. Caruso with two. East Brunswick leads it 5-2. Here's J.R. Spencer wearing number 32 for Hillsborough. Up top for Shepherd. Now the freshman Jones. Caruso picks up Shepherd. Now Spencer. Here's Capozzi. Nearly taken away from behind by James. Capozzi in trouble. Goes cross court now for Shepherd. Shepherd back cross court for a J.R. Spencer three. It's no good. Rebound flies out to James. East Brunswick on the run. Bounce pass ahead for Caruso. Collects it with one hand. And it's taken away. Second turnover by East Brunswick. Well, they get it right back.
And good hustle over the court for both teams right now. Tresca with the three. Yes.
Yeah, he's 2 for 3 from three-point range already. Hillsborough could be in for a long afternoon if he gets hot. He's got 6 points, and it's 8-2 East Brunswick. Hillsborough basketball with 4.5 to go, opening quarter. This is Shepherd at the free throw line for Kovac. Is the freshman Jones. Kicks it outside, but before he does, a whistle and a foul against East Brunswick. And Mike Tresca will pick up the personal. That's his first foul of the ball game.
And Gordy, you make a good point about those uniforms. The more I look, home uniforms are usually white and away are dark. And I guess this is their dark gold, but on television it's got to be pretty difficult to see.
It's even a strain for the television cameras to pick up the difference. Yeah, you'd think they'd have the maroon jerseys since their colors are maroon and gold.
Okay.
Here's James following the Hillsborough turnover. This is Caruso for James. Up top for Schuler, swinging around Caruso. 3:50 to go, first quarter. Now a steal by Hillsborough.
I'll tell you, nice steal by Capozzi.
Here's a partial block shot.
Ooh,
Shepherd gets it back. It's some rough play on the far sideline.
I'll tell you, get a little physical there. 10 on 10. You got your Tresca on Dustin Shepherd there. Tresca called for the foul.
And that's 2 on Tresca right off the bat with 3:39 to go first quarter. He's going to have to take a breather. A little unhappy with himself as he comes off the bench in favor of number 12, Ron Rosenstrauss. Rosenstrauss, a 5'11" senior. This is Shepherd for Hillsborough. He's got an older brother on the team, Shannon, who's a senior. Spencer on the wing, picked up by Rosenstrauss. Up top for the freshman Jones. Pull-up jumper is good.
I like this kid already.
Yeah, Hillsborough, not the traditional basketball power. They're a football school.
That's right.
You know, over the years, but he could change things. Wide receiver on that state championship football team, or almost a state championship. In fact, their highly touted quarterback, Sean Mayer, was actually on the basketball team to start the season, but felt that he did not contribute enough to his liking and wasn't being enough of a contributor to the team. So he's in the weight room getting set for next football season.
Sometimes it's tough when you're a star in one sport and you go over to another where you don't fare as well.
There's
good block there.
Capozzi behind the back dribble. A little too fancy. Turnover Hillsborough. East Brunswick gets it back. James with it. Goes cross court for Rosenstrauss. Puts it on the floor. An entry pass for Schuler is denied by the turnover.
And I think both teams got to settle down a little bit. You see a little fancy ball handling on both teams' part. And one trying to impress the other. And they just got to settle down and get into a real flow.
Substitution for East Brunswick. Brad Caruso's out. Bill Varela is in. They trade senior for senior with 2.5 to go in the first quarter. 8-4. East Brunswick leading Hillsborough. It's Hillsborough basketball. Varela picks up Shepard as they feed to Jones. Now a traveling violation on Kovac. That's good defense by Vangerud.
I'll tell you, Kovac looking at the official a little intent, and he better back off. Doesn't want to get a tech this early in the game.
This is James now on the right wing for Schuler. Up top Varela, now Vangerud. And now they're going to get Kovac as he threw Kevin James out of his way.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. That was a carryover from the call up here, Gordy. He's a little frustrated and sort of got out of sync. He's near the bench now, and I'm sure the coach will say something to him.
Vangerud will trigger the inbound here on the near sideline. They go for James. Puts it on the floor against Jones, the freshman. Varela, a feed for Rosenstrauss, and he traveled.
A lot of times kids will do that fake and take that step first. The thing is to do the head fake and then make the step, not step then head fake.
Fourth turnover for East Brunswick. Hillsborough's got 5. We've got just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. 8-4. East Brunswick leading it. Hillsborough with the basketball. Down by 4. This is Dustin Shepard with the bounce pass for the freshman Jones. Put a move on Varela. Jumper, no good. That's his first miss.
And James with the rebound.
James runs the point. Feet in the corner for Rosenstrauss. All the way cross court for Vangerud. Lost the handle on it. Not sure it was intended for him. But Hillsborough comes away with it. Turnover number 5 on the Bears. This is the freshman Jones taking it to the hole. Lays it up and in. Just a freshman, now with 6.
He's the real deal, I'll tell you that. Jared Jones.
So fluid. I mentioned at the top of the program, his older brother Eric was a star quarterback for the Hillsborough football team and now plays for Duke University.
And Duke, your alma mater, though?
No, I'm a Rutgers guy.
You're a Rutgers guy? Are you? Okay.
Another turnover by East Brunswick. That is number 6. The 6 turnovers early on for East Brunswick. They lead by 2, 8-6, with 1:06 left to go, opening period. Substitution in the game for Hillsborough. This is Shannon Shepard, older brother of Dustin Shepard, who has the ball now. Shannon wears number 22. There's a pass by Jared Jones. His teammate Capozzi didn't see it coming. Loose ball. Eventually turns into a turnover for Hillsborough. They're 6th. East Brunswick gets it back, leading by 2.
Raiders have gone to man-to-man right now.
This is Billy Varela. Now up top for a Caruso 3. Got a good screen, and he drained it.
And Caruso singing a very fine tune on that one.
Caruso now with 5. You know, he's 6'4", so when he stands out on the perimeter and gets a screen, he can see over the top of everybody. Then he goes into a jump shot. It gives him even better vision. So essentially wide open with a nice double screen up top.
Just a good athlete.
Dustin Shepard for the freshman Jones, a 3.
Oh,
it's
mercy.
Good. Now they're going to call. Yep, they're going to call to 3. One official said no, the other said yes. That's 9 for the freshman Jared Jones.
And he's unconscious right now.
Now a turnover at the other end by East Brunswick. But we have come to the end of the first quarter with the score: East Brunswick 11 and Hillsborough 9.
And I tell you, we're going to listen to Bo Henning, but you got to be concerned about Jared Jones. He seems to be able to do exactly what he wants.
Let's go to the East Brunswick huddle.
Face. Not asking you to deny out there. You shouldn't be on top of that, okay?
Come on, fellas. Most of the points. Let's shut them down.
Okay, 21 is still the defense. We're not changing that, okay? They're not showing anything from the perimeter except when they're dead wide open. So just be in their face when they catch the ball, okay? Now, offensively, they're not a very good man-to-man team, but you're not setting good screens, and you're certainly not using the screens, and we can't even balance the floor half the time. Pass goes to the wing. Just make sure we get a guy cutting. Yo, I'm the cutter. I'm the cutter. If it'll help balance the floor, okay? We don't have to keep resetting the thing. All right. We get the ball, Ronnie, we get the ball on the wing. It's not this two-hand over-the-head stuff. Break your man down so that you can throw a decent pass off the back screen and set a decent screen on the back screen. That don't help real well. Remember, when you're in against the man-to-man in our break, when that guy comes off the back screen now, he's also going to be ducking in. So if you're the step-out man, step out strong, look inside. You're playing that same same way you played, down to guys level and like afraid to be good. Do not be afraid to be good. Come on, let's go. Try.
A little psychological preparation there by Bo Henning. One of the reasons he's one of the better coaches around. He knows how to get into the minds of the players.
Well, he's a cerebral coach, but you saw a little motivation there too. I got a little tingle out of me. Don't be afraid to be good.
Don't be afraid to be good. Do what you know you can do. Jared Jones, the freshman for Hillsborough, has all 9 of his team's points. East Brunswick leads it by 2, 11-9. We're underway here in the second quarter. Fast-moving game so far. Ball loose on the floor. It's tracked down by Shepard for Hillsborough, and now a near steal by Caruso. He couldn't catch up with it out of bounds. Good hustle by Caruso.
Certainly.
Shannon Shepard will trigger the inbound. Right wing, this is the freshman Jones holding high overhead. Picked up by Varela. Feed down low for Kovac. Turnaround jumper, no. Tipped around. They play volleyball with it. Slapped out of the hands of Capozzi by James, but Shepard tracked it down. Dustin Shepard lays it up and in. He's got 2.
Nice strong move by Shepard.
All tied up at 11 with 7:20 to go in the first half. Here's James, picked up by Jones. Dustin Shepard, the first player other than Jared Jones to score for Hillsborough. Here's Varela with an open jumper. Can't get it to go. Rebound knocked out of bounds. East Brunswick will hang on to it.
I'll tell you, Vandergaroo did a nice job sort of going over the top without really going over the top. Avoided the foul and was able to keep the ball alive.
7:05 to go, second quarter. Oh, and a wide open Billy Varela, who laid it up and in. Nice execution on the inbounds pass. Varela with 2. East Brunswick leads by 2, 13-11. 6:55 to go, second quarter. Here's Shannon Shepard feeding to Jones. Swinging around the other side now for Dustin Shepard, and a steal by East Brunswick. Hillsborough turnover number 7. On the break, Caruso laid it up, no. The rebound comes down to Schuler, laid it up and in.
I'll tell you, Brian Schuler. And Brian Schuler, one of the reasons Brian Schuler is starting is because he's a good hustler and he's around the ball all the time.
Hillsborough head coach Paul Parker is angry. He calls timeout. 6:35 to go, second quarter, 15-11, East Brunswick over Hillsborough. Let's go back to the East Brunswick huddle and head coach Bo Henning.
Come on, guys.
All right. Now listen to me. In that 3, he calls it 32. That's 3 out, 2 in motion, right? You got to do a better job of hedging those screens, and we really got to be tough on the boards. That's always going to be our problem. Everybody's got to box. Everybody's got to pursue. You get a drive to the basket, you have to anticipate taking a charge. You can't wait till I say it. It'll be too late. Anticipate taking a charge. Keep pursuing the ball. Like David says, I think their legs are a little heavy from yesterday, so let's get out and run. Make sure somebody trails for defensive balance, okay? All right, come on. Let's go. What's that?
All right, East Brunswick back out on the floor.
And Gordy, apparently the Raiders had a game yesterday. Bo alluding to the fact that their legs should be heavy. And so they may, the Bears may try to run them into the ground.
.6:35 left to go, second quarter. East Brunswick leads at 15-11. It's Hillsborough basketball. This is Shepard with it for his brother Shannon Shepard.
Raiders looking for a good shot down to Kovacs.
In fact, not only did Hillsborough have a game yesterday, they had an overtime game in which they beat Warren Hills 45-37.
Okay, overtime at that. And an early game today. Let's run them.
East Brunswick basketball, straight up 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter. East Brunswick by 4, they have the ball. This is Varela out on the left wing, up top for Schuler. Now James, guarded by Dustin Shepard. Change it, that's Jared Jones who's on Kevin James. Now an errant pass, out of bounds, turnover East Brunswick. That's number 8.
Raiders switch from zone defense to man-to-man and created the turnover.
The East Brunswick quintet, Kevin James, Bill Varela, Brad Caruso, Dave Vangerud, and Brian Schuler. Hillsborough with Dustin Shepard, Shannon Shepard, Jared Jones, the freshman who has the ball now. This is Wes Kovac. He's in with Justin Capozzi. Loose ball knocked out of bounds by East Brunswick. Hillsborough gets it back. They trail by 4. Inbound pass for the freshman Jones. Stop, pop, good. Jared Jones with 11 already in double figures with 5:20 to go in the second quarter.
He's putting on a sensational performance for just to be the first quarter.
There's a lob pass for Van Gerud. Put it up and in. Nice move by Van Gerud to get his big man off his feet. Van Gerud with the deuce. His first two. East Brunswick 17-13, back to a 4-point lead. Here's Jones out on the left wing. To Capozzi at the free throw line, off the glass and in. He didn't call that one, did he?
I don't think he intended that one.
Justin Capozzi, his first two, back to a 2-point game. Varela racing the other way. And a whistle and a foul on Hillsborough. Dustin Shepard's going to pick it up. His first personal foul.
And I'll tell you, you're seeing something unusual right now. The Bears are substituting 4 underclassmen right here. And I tell you, I talked to Bo Hinnon earlier. He says they've been working their butts off so hard this week and whatnot. He wants to reward them, and he's putting them in the game early, and takes a lot of guts.
Number 14 is Damon Hart. He'll trigger the inbound. Also in is Keith Seymour. He's a senior. This is Alan Baracco, along with Mike Tresca. So one starter in the game.
And you got number 52, Gamboa.
Gamboa is hard to miss.
He's a big one.
6'3", 220-pound junior. If he sets a screen, look out. We may need an ambulance.
Tresca with another 3.
Tresca 3 out of 4 from 3-point range. He's got 9. He's also got 2 personal fouls. 4.5 to go, second quarter. East Brunswick by 5 now, 20-15. Here's Shannon Shepard on the left wing. Driving shot blocked.
Oh, wow.
Good block that time by Alan Baracco. Loose ball on the floor, regained by Hillsborough. Shepard blew the layup. Rebound comes down to Gamboa, knocked out of his hands. Now to a new man in the game for Hillsborough, and laying it up and in is number 44, Matt Pulowski.
I'll tell you, nice move, Pulowski. A lot of hot action going on here.
Also in the game, Jameel Mason for Hillsborough. Entrance pass to Gamboa. Turnaround scoop shot won't go. And the rebound comes down to Mason. Feet ahead for the freshman Jones. Racing across the midcourt line. Out on the left wing against Seymour. Driving to the basket, lays it up and in.
Unbelievable.
13 points for the freshman Jared Jones. It's 20-19. Hillsborough within 1. 3:40 to go, second quarter. Here's Seymour, picked up by Shannon Shepard. Back it off now for Hart. Damon Hart with it, looking for help. Feed for Gamboa. Gamboa, when he grabs the basketball, looks like he might pop it. Here's Tresca, wide open 3.
Oh!
Tresca 4 out of 5 from 3-point range. He's got 12.
And he is hot.
3:14 to go, second quarter. 23-19, East Brunswick back up to a 4-point lead. Rest of the starters getting set to check back in for East Brunswick. This is Jones, the freshman again for Hillsborough. Stop, pop, good. 15 points for Jared Jones.
As poised a freshman as I've seen this year.
Here's Tresca driving baseline, kicks it back out for Keith Seymour, puts it on the floor, dumps it down low to Tresca, in among the trees, lays it up, no. Gamboa had a chance at the rebound. It was knocked out of bounds by Hillsborough. East Brunswick gets it back. Kevin James, Bill Varela, Brad Caruso, Brian Schuler, Dave Van Gerud return. Tresca comes back out.
And they get a hand if he can, and the Wild bunch up in the right-hand corner there, standing on their feet, giving the Bears a hand.
So Tresca, Baracco, Gamboa, Seymour, and Hart are back out of the game. There's a miss by Schuler. Hillsborough collects the rebound. They trail by 2. Chance to tie or take the lead. This is J.R. Spencer driving on Van Gerud. And Van Gerud gave a little bump with the hip and gets whistled for the foul.
Blocking foul, only third team foul for the Bears.
Dave Van Gerud picks up his first personal foul. Wes Kovac, big man, returns for Hillsborough, and he replaces number 44, Matt Pulowski. Jones will trigger the inbound. Almost a backcourt violation, but a great save by Jameel Mason.
I'll tell you.
That's good court awareness, knowing where you are at all times. Shannon Shepard holding high overhead, picked up by Caruso. This is Spencer.
And Varela trying to control Jones at this time. Somebody's got to stop him.
That's Jones, the freshman, with the basketball now. Gets a screen, dumps it down low to Kovac, up off the glass and in.
I'll tell you.
That's good execution.
Good dish, good swish right there.
First 2 points for Wes Kovac, their 6'6" junior center. And we're tied at 23 with 2 minutes to go, opening half. We've got a good one. Now whistling a foul. Caruso had it knocked out of his hands, but Hillsborough will pick up a team foul. And the personal foul belongs to Shannon Shepard, his first. Team foul number 3 on Hillsborough. Both teams with 3 team fouls. Van Garud the inbound for James. Guarded by Jones. Feed for Varela. Caruso pop free off a screen. Shot won't go. Rebound Schuler. Schuler almost triple team. Breaks it back out for James and they reset. Now for a Varela side jumper. Roll around, no. Feed up ahead for Shannon Shepard.
Kovac's going up strong for the rebound.
Shannon Shepard for the freshman Jones. Puts it on the floor against Varela. Varela fell down trying to play defense. The freshman missed the shot though. A minute 25 to go opening half. We're tied at 23. East Brunswick at 9-5. Hillsborough at 6-7. Hillsborough in a battle to qualify for the state tournament. They could use a win today. Van Garud now to a cutting Varela. Whistle and a foul before the shot. Jameel Mason will pick up the personal foul. Number 33. Their 6'4" junior gets his first personal. Substitution as Justin Capozzi returns to the Hillsborough lineup.
And 4th team foul for the Raiders.
Jameel Mason out of the lineup for head coach Paul Parker. Parker now in his 10th season at Hillsborough. His counterpart Bo Henning in his 9th season at East Brunswick. Van Garud now for James. And they'll reset. Heard Bo Henning call the 1-3-1 offense from the sideline. Caruso for James. Thinks about the 3. Backs it off for Caruso. They play catch on the perimeter. James puts it on the floor. Now Caruso has his pocket stripped from behind. Shannon Shepard will get whistled for the foul.
And Shannon Shepard doesn't like it and reacts a little strongly there.
Now a little pushing and shoving. As Caruso, Van Garud, and Shannon Shepard
They got to pull Shepard out of the game to cool him down, else he's going to cost this team. But they don't. He's still in the game, Gordy.
Shannon Shepard with his 2nd personal foul, and now Paul Parker will take him out. .40 seconds left to go here in the opening half. East Brunswick's going to play for 1. Here's Varela for Van Garud. Now for James. 30 seconds to play, 2nd quarter. Tied at 23. Varela for Caruso. Playing for 1. Now 20 seconds. We're going to have an interesting second half, that's for sure.
That's for sure. And you probably can look for the ball to get into Caruso's hands somehow.
Now to a cutting James, knocked out of his hands. Last touch, though, by Hillsborough. Good defense by J.R. Spencer, number 32. East Brunswick gets it back with 12 to play in the 2nd quarter.
12 seconds left. Mike Tresca's not on the court, so I would look for Caruso to take this last shot.
Inbounds pass deflected away. Hillsborough with it with 10 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. Here's J.R. Spencer. Spencer with it. Pull-up jumper. No good. Rebound yanked down by Schuler with 1 second to go, and we've come to the end of the first half. We are tied at 23. Your thoughts on the first half, Phil?
I'll tell you, just an exciting first half. I think if you're the Bears, you got to stop doing what we're doing, which is enjoying watching Jarrett Jones. Yeah, he's really carried the team in quite something. They got to find some way to sort of shut him down.
Here's how the scoring went. First for Hillsborough, as you alluded to, the freshman Jarrett Jones with 15 points in the opening half. After that, there were 4 others who had 2. Dustin Shepard, Justin Capozzi, Wes Kovac, and Matt Pulowski all with 2 points apiece. Jarrett Jones 15 out of Hillsborough's 23. For East Brunswick, they were led by Mike Tresca, got in some foul trouble, but hit 4 out of 5 from 3-point range, including his last 4 because he missed his opening 3. Right. He had 12 points in the first half. Then it was Brad Caruso with 5, including a 3-pointer. Bill Varela had 2, Dave Van Garud had 2, Brian Schuler had 2. We're at halftime with the score tied at 23 between East Brunswick and Hillsborough. We'll have the second half action coming up. We have identified a potential spy in the audience. That there is Mars Mellish, outstanding guard from St. Peter's High School in New Brunswick. And if you remember correctly, last year during the Greater Middlesex Conference Tournament, East Brunswick knocked off St. Peter's. And Mars perhaps taking in a little early scouting today. We're getting set for our third quarter action. We are all tied up at 23. Fairly low-scoring affair in the first half, and no trips to the free throw line, so a pretty fast-moving game as well.
A real fast-moving game. Certainly contradicts the first game we dealt with, which was a marathon.
That and that halftime was about a 25-minute intermission, I guess. About 800 kids shooting jumpers. You contribute $1, you get to take a shot. If you make the shot, you get your choice of, I believe, either T-shirt or free admission to the final 6 home games.
For the rest of the games, right.
Not bad.
Not a bad deal.
Kevin James with the basketball to start for East Brunswick. And an official's time.
I just hope it doesn't affect their NCAA eligibility.
Here's the cart of balls sitting there on the floor getting removed to start the game. You can see where that would certainly be a problem with some full court press action.
It's been that type of day.
So we will restart. Kevin James, Mike Tresca, Brian Schuler, Dave Van Gerud, Brad Caruso, the starting 5 for East Brunswick in the second half. Their original starting 5 as well. Shannon Shepard getting the start for Hillsborough.
Great move.
Nice baseline move by Dave Van Gerud. He's got 4 points now. And he breaks the 23-23 tie. Here's Jared Jones for Hillsborough. Stops and pops in the lane, but it won't fall. Schuler the rebound. Hillsborough goes with Shannon Shepard, Dustin Shepard, Jared Jones, Justin Capozzi, and Wes Kovac. Turnover by East Brunswick. That's number 9.
Tresca just lost it, trying to go underneath, looking for something. And they got Tresca on Jared Jones, and that's the matchup you would expect. Tresca clearly is the toughest defender that the Bears have. And there you see Tresca knocking it out of bounds. Able to do it without fouling. Did jam his finger, however.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, too, because he's already got 2 fouls.
That's right.
Missed some time in the opening half because of that. One of East Brunswick's best defenders, Doug Zukic, remains sidelined with an injury.
I understand he's due back Monday, so he would be a plus in a game like this here against someone like Jones.
Jones's jumper will not fall. The rebound tracked down by Van Gerud. East Brunswick the other way, leading 25-23, and a steal.
Oh, wow. Did he get the timeout? Did he get the timeout is the question. Both officials looking at each other.
Now they're going to have a little conference. I think actually the other referee, it was Ken Kokoska.
Oh, mercy. He got it.
They got a timeout.
And
nice job.
I'll tell you.
I think Kokoska was actually screened on that, so he couldn't see to make the call.
Right.
Steve Hayter from Monroe, the referee, makes the call, and we've got a timeout on the floor. Let's see what Bo Henning has to say.
You committed a 3rd foul, which they didn't call. Get your act under control. We want you running up the floor anyhow, right? Outlet should be the number 1 man, okay, as quickly as we can, okay? All right, I can see it right now. Their postmen are not going to get back with our guys, but don't try and throw it from out here to our postman. Push it down the sideline. If you're going to drive baseline, you better be thinking about shooting the ball, not about passing it, okay? All right, they're going to try and pass against that press. Remember what we did with Old Bridge with that? That really plays into our hands. How's your matchup? You think Shu could handle him? The guy you're guarding? You think he could handle? Because it'd be a better matchup. You guarding this, they'll try and bring the ball up with him. Can you handle his matchup? Let's try that. Let's try switching that matchup. Okay? All right, let's try that.
All right, so Bo Henning tell Mike Tresca, if you're going to drive the baseline, don't pass it, shoot it. Kid's a phenomenal shooter.
He also told him you got away with the foul, so be careful.
Just after we had given him credit for being a good defensive player, he did make a good defensive play, but right. Bo Henning says he got away with a foul, which would have been his 3rd. Instead, he holds with 2. 12 points for Mike Tresca, all in the first half. 4 out of 5 from 3-point range. He's got a little more defensive responsibility now. We'll see if that impacts his offense. East Brunswick leads by 2, 25-23, just under 7 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by East Brunswick. Hillsborough gets it back. Capozzi gets the inbound to Shepard, into Kovac. Leaning jumper, won't go. And a held ball.
I'll tell you.
Caruso and Kovac hit the deck.
2 big men right there.
And Hillsborough on the held ball gets the possession arrow. They trail by 2 with 6:48 to go, 3rd quarter. Jones flips it up high for Shannon Shepard.
Okay, Bears back in man-to-man.
Right wing for Dustin Shepard. Back up to the freshman, Jared Jones. Shannon Shepard, dump it down low on the block for the sky hook from Capozzi. It won't go. Van Gerud the rebound. This is James. Now Van Gerud, now Caruso. Picked up by Shannon Shepard. Up top for Tresca. Thinks about the three. Here's Tresca again. And they've made an effort to pick him up on defense. There's a long three. No good. The shot was altered a little bit because of the defense they're playing on him. They recognize him as a real threat. So we hold at 25-23. East Brunswick leading by 2 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Here's the freshman Jones looking to drive baseline on Tresca. Gets him up in the air and then backs it off for Kovac. The big man feeds up high.
Good defense by Tresca.
Here's Capozzi, right baseline, double team, kicks it back out, turnover Hillsborough. That's their first here in the second half. They've got 8 for the game. East Brunswick's got 9. Nip and tuck so far. Kevin James, one-handed bounce feed for Tresca. Now Van Gerud. Van Gerud wears number 50. He's got the ball. Up top for Schuler. Now James. Van Gerud saves it in bounds. Up top for James. 5.5 to go, third quarter. East Brunswick by 2 against Hillsborough.
And Raiders, good defense.
Caruso steps out, shoots the open jumper, can't get it to fall.
Wow, Tresca underneath with the Giants.
Score the basket for Tresca. Tresca only at 5'11", and that's probably on his tippy toes. Gets the basket to go. He's now got 14. That's his first 2-point field goal, and he'll go to the free throw line to try to complete the 3-point play. But, you know, interesting and what a terrific 3-point shooter he is. Only 55% at the foul line, which is kind of odd.
It is a little strange there. He's usually hustling around the court so much, though. Most of the time he's fatigued, I'll tell you that, because he gives 110%.
Completes the 3-point play. He's now got 15 points. And 1 for 1 at the free throw line. He is tied for game high honors right now with Jared Jones of Hillsborough, who also has 15 points. Here is Jones with the basketball, putting it on the floor, penetrating in the paint. Kicks it back up top for J.R. Spencer, who's returned to the lineup for Hillsborough. Here's Jones again, picked up by Tresca for Shannon Shepard. And Spencer. Bill Varela getting set to check back in for East Brunswick. Shannon Shepard for Jones, pull-up jumper, no good. He's cold here in the second half to start. 4:35 left to go, third quarter. East Brunswick by 5, 28-23.
Oh, Tresca.
3-pointer by Tresca. That's his 5th of the game. He now has 18 points. It's frightening to think what would have happened if he didn't get in a little bit of foul trouble in the first half.
That's for sure.
As hot as he was. He's already got 18. We've still got a quarter and a half to play. 31-23, just like that. Hillsborough is scoreless through the first 4 minutes of the second half. Shot is missed by Hillsborough.
And I'll tell you, you got to give some credit to Tresca defensively. He's on Jones, and Jones hasn't been able to get off this half.
Whistle and a foul on Wes Kovac as Van Gerud put it on the floor. That'll be the second team foul on Hillsborough. Wes Kovac, his second personal foul. And Kovac is going to come to the bench in favor of number 44, Matt Pulowski. Tresca's out of the game. Schuler's out of the game for East Brunswick. Bill Varela and Ron Rosenstrauss are the replacements. Here's Kevin James again over the midcourt line. Driving now on Jones, and he dragged his pivot foot.
Exactly right.
Turnover by East Brunswick is number 10, second here in the second half. 3:40 to go, third quarter.
Okay, the Bears with full court pressure right now.
Jones the inbound for Jameel Mason, who's in. Feet up ahead on the wing for J.R. Spencer. Working on Rosenstrauss. Runs by him in the lane. Spinning and twisting, but can't get the shot to go. Pulowski. Rebound, East Brunswick. Hillsborough getting just one look at the basket. Pull-up jumper by Caruso, left it short, pulled the string on a little bit.
I'll tell you.
Substitution for Hillsborough. Shannon Shepard comes off limping. He might have turned an ankle, and in for him is his brother Dustin.
And I think about it, Caruso makes the shot. Bohannon really doesn't say anything, nor pull him. Kevin James, a warning for stepping over. Next time it's a technical.
official Steve Hayter makes the call, and now a timeout Hillsborough. They couldn't find anybody to get the ball in bounds to.
Awfully close to 5 seconds.
Jared Jones calls the timeout. 3:18 to go, third quarter. 31-23 East Brunswick. Let's check in with East Brunswick head coach Bo Henning.
You okay? All right, why don't you you give Kevin a quick rest. You go into 1. Shu, go in for Brad. David, you're back in the 4 right now. All right, now they're probably trying to draw something up to throw it over you defensively now. Don't let them do that, right? They look like they struggle when you guys are in front of them defensively in a full court, okay? Now, offensively, I think we'll have, where's Brad at? I think we'll have a lot more success if we kick the ball ahead with a pass and puts a lot more pressure on them up the court rather than dribbling, okay? You guys run your lanes, but don't go running until we defensive board, right? Brad's got a few defensive boards this quarter, so that means while he's out, somebody's got to pick that end of it up, okay? All right, let's go. Come on.
I'll tell you, Bo Henning not only coaching for what's happening now, but coaching for what might happen. Trying to figure out what they might do and prepare for that.
3 minutes, 18 seconds left to go, third quarter. Gordon Deal alongside Phil Hill here at East Brunswick High School. East Brunswick leads at 31-23. We have had 4 minutes and 42 seconds go by in the third quarter, and Hillsborough has not managed a single point.
Shannon Shepard, number 22 for the Raiders, has gone to the locker room to be looked at. Not quite sure what that's about.
Looked like he might have rolled an ankle. Won't speculate any further, though. Jared Jones backs it off now for J.R. Spencer. Spencer picked up by Rosenstrauss. Swinging around to the freshman Jones. Up top for Dustin Shepard. J.R. Spencer looking for help for Dustin Shepard. Three-pointer by the freshman Jones won't go.
And Treska's in his face, I'm telling you.
Loose ball saved in bounds, and Schuler tracks it down. Nice play by Shu. 2.5 to go here in the third. Here's Bill Varela, now for Treska, who's been lethal today. 5 3-pointers to Treska's credit. Rosenstrauss took his eyes off it.
Just a little tough pass coming from him from a short distance there. Shu put a little bit on it, and Rosenstrauss just couldn't control it.
That ball had some zip.
Really.
11 turnovers, rather, for East Brunswick with 2.5 to go here in the third quarter. Schuler makes the interception. Turnover by Hillsborough, that's their 9th. The other way is Treska. Backs it off for Schuler. Swing it around for Varela. Guarded there by Dustin Shepard. Back it off for Treska. 2:05 to go in the third quarter. East Brunswick by 8. It's an 8-0 run to start the third quarter.
Good defense by the Raiders right now. Bears looking for a shot.
Here's Rosenstrauss on the far left wing. Up top, Treska. Penetrates, kicks out for Rosenstrauss. Shot won't go. Rebound knocked out of the hands of Bill Varela by Jared Jones of Hillsborough, and East Brunswick gets it back. Minute 46 to play in the third. Here's Schuler, now for Vangerud. 3-point try by Rosenstrauss, it's good. And he got hammered to the floor by J.R. Spencer on the blockout.
Could have been a 4-point play easily. Once again, the Bears providing token pressure, trying to trap.
Now Capozzi with a scoop shot after the collision won't go.
I tell you, the officials letting them play now.
3-pointer by Rosenstrauss. His only 3 points of the game. Now his side jumper won't go. Capozzi the rebound, and it's stolen by Treska. Boy, he was open for the 3. And then decided against it. 34-23 your score. East Brunswick by 11. Now to a cutting Varela, lays it up and in.
I'll tell you.
Bill Varela now with 4.
Good look by Treska.
Nice cut, good execution. Here's Jones, the freshman, racing by everybody. Laid it up, won't go. Follow won't go. Treska the rebound. Cross court for Varela. Varela off the glass. No. Rebound follow by Rosenstrauss, and it's good.
And the Bears have it going right now.
And they're getting help from the bench. Rosenstrauss with 5. 38-23. The lead is 15, just like that. Hillsborough yet to score in the third quarter, and there's only 25 seconds left. This is a fast-moving game. We've only been to the free throw line one time in this game. And almost 3 quarters are gone by. 15 seconds to go, third quarter. Kevin James returns to the lineup, as does Brad Caruso. Brian Schuler takes a breather along with Mike Tresca. Tresca 6 points in the quarter.
And a well-deserved rest because he's doing a job on both ends of the floor.
This is Dustin Shepard. His brother Shannon left with what appeared to be an ankle injury. In fact, the ankle is in a soft cast, a soft ice cast, as he's returned from the locker room. 3 seconds to go in the third quarter. Shot up, no, but a whistle on a foul. They're going to get Bill Varela on the foul. That is his first personal. It'll be team foul number 2 on East Brunswick. Actually, that's their first team foul here in the second half. 2 seconds to go in the third quarter. Here's Hillsborough with a chance at its first points of the quarter. Good.
Dustin Shepard, and Dustin Shepard's an all-county soccer player, 3-year starter in soccer, and we're seeing more and more of that soccer player basketball combination.
Second free throw, also good by Shepard. He's now got 4. 1 second to go, and that's the end of the third quarter. Credit the defense. East Brunswick outscoring Hillsborough 16-2 in the third quarter. 38-25 is your score. Hillsborough's got some work to do, and East Brunswick will try to maintain that lead. Let's go to the huddle and check in with head coach Bo Henning.
Yeah, but you're also standing straight up. There's no athleticism when you're standing straight up at all, right?
Punched every time everywhere I go.
Well, he's trying to take you out of your game.
Everyone, not just, he's not even in the past. Go next.
Okay, well, I'll let you out of here early. You go tell the ref, but don't let it affect your game, okay? Yeah. You may have to trail it out. You may have to trail it out. Yeah, you may have. Well, if he's curling you all the time, then try and get up on top of the screen, like almost like 22 to that point, okay? All right, now, if they got any notions about winning the game, you know they're going to press you here. You're back in the 4 spot right now. We haven't used any timeouts, so be smart about it. 34, you let the ball in front of you most times, and then they're going to try and flash guys from the backside, okay? Everybody be very aware of where the ball is so that we can rotate, okay? We can rotate from the blind side and up, okay? And they're not handling it real well. Then if we get in a situation where they're coming down with an advantage, sprint for the hole, and what's the guy in the back supposed to think of? If you're the guy back defensively, no, the guy back, guarding the basket, what do you want to be thinking about? Thinking charge, right? I'm guarding, in the last second, think charge, okay? All right, come on, let's go.
All right, final 8 minutes coming up. I tell you what, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't had a single timeout call in this game.
Not a timeout call. That's why the game's gone by so swiftly.
Amazing, and we've only taken 3 free throws. This is the fastest game I've seen. We're only a little more than an hour old. Well, actually, if that, I'm not even sure we're that old.
Well, the officials are letting them play, and the coaches are letting them play. So that makes for a very quick game.
I think halftime was the longest part of this game so far, the halftime break.
No doubt about it.
East Brunswick 38, Hillsborough 25, a 16-2 run, snapped a 23-23 halftime tie, and East Brunswick has, for now, taken command of this game. See if Hillsborough has any gas left in the tank. Try and climb back in. Here's Kevin James. He's on the floor with Ron Rosenstrauss, Bill Varela, Brad Caruso, who just got the ball knocked out and
tripped up,
crashed to the floor, and Dave Vangerud of their 5. Justin Capozzi is going to pick up the foul for Hillsborough, 6'5" junior. That's his first.
And Caruso just recovering from an ankle injury. You see it taped up. So Bo Henning watching him very carefully.
Here's Rosenstrauss.
Great look.
Finds Vangerud, who converts the deuce. Vangerud with 6 off the great pass from Rosenstrauss. Now a Hillsborough turnover.
I'll tell you, what's turned the tide in this game has been defense. There have been a few nice offensive plays, but it's been the Bears' defense the second half that's made the big difference.
Substitution for Hillsborough. Matt Pulowski, the 6'2 senior, returns. Wes Kovac is out. This has not been a typical Wes Kovac game. He had 2 points. Big guy, 6'6", and beefy. 2 points in the first half, and that's it. Here's Kevin James. Here's Rosenstrauss. He hits the 3. Rosenstrauss.
8 points.
8 points, including 2 3-pointers.
Woo!
Ball loose on the floor. We're going to have a whistle and a foul. Good sportsmanship there by Dave Vangerud.
I'll tell you, Jones hit the floor hard. A lot of young fellows would have jumped up with fire in their eyes. He took it like a good athlete and still in a game.
Kevin James picks up the foul, his first personal. Hillsborough basketball, they trail it 43-25. This is Dustin Shepard. The freshman Jones has it stripped out of his hands by James. James collects.
James, oh, mercy, he's hammered. Ooh.
Oh, it looked like a wide receiver getting decked by a linebacker cutting across the middle.
I'll tell you. That's Justin Capozzi on the hit there.
Second personal foul on Justin Capozzi. Team foul number 4 on Hillsborough. East Brunswick basketball leading by 18.
And you talk about Hillsborough being more of a football school. They're in that Skyline Conference there. And when you think about it, they're probably everything but a basketball conference. They got the Huntertons and
certainly Franklin
and a few other teams that are wrestling schools as well.
Yep. Bridgewater Raritan.
Right.
Pretty good program, very young. A lot of underclassmen on that team. 43-27 after the basket by J.R. Spencer. Mike Treska getting set to return to the East Brunswick lineup. So you mentioned defense as being the key.
Right.
Case in point right here, Jared Jones, the outstanding freshman for Hillsborough, had 15 points in the first half. Guess how many he's got now?
Nothing.
15. 0 in the second half.
0 in the second half, you're right. And that's Varela, I believe, that
Bill Varela with 6 and Varela the steal. Loose on the floor, snapped out from between his legs, and Hillsborough comes away with it. Jones, the pull-up jumper, can't get it to go. They bat it around and play volleyball with it. Now holding foul on Kevin James.
If we're really to be fair, Gordy, you can't help but mention the fatigue factor. The Raiders had a game last night, an overtime game at that, and Bohaney knew it and knew that the longer the game went on, the heavier their legs would get. And if you look at them now, they're sucking wind and seem to be having a very difficult time. So that certainly has played into it somewhat.
Had an overtime game against Warren Hills yesterday, a game they won. There's a jumper by Dustin Shepard. Can't get it to go, and the rebound, yanked down by Caruso. Clears out with the arms, and a good job to free himself. Feeds ahead for Schuler. Schuler will back it off for Treska. Thinks about the 3, steps in, now dishes off to Schuler. Back it off for a Caruso 3. No good. Rebound tipped up by Treska. Almost got that to go. Hillsborough basketball. New man in the game for Hillsborough is Brooks Newell, number 24.
Okay. Van Garud with the rebound, gets bumped a little.
Here's Caruso. Leaves it off for Schuler. Back for James. 45-27. East Brunswick by 18. Caruso puts it on the floor against Jameel Mason. Now backs it off for James. This is Treska. To a cutting Schuler. Lays it up and in.
And Schuler puts it up, and Bo Henning says the only problem with Schuler is he doesn't shoot a lot. How would you like to have a coach to tell you that? You don't shoot enough. Jeez.
Brian Schuler, the 6'3" junior, now with 4 points. East Brunswick with it on the run. Van Garud leaves it off for Caruso. Nice break.
They're patented fast break.
7 points now for Caruso. Little off his average of 15.8 a game, but his club is doing a whale of a job overall as a team. They lead it now 49-27, biggest lead of the game of 22. J.R. Spencer's three-pointer is short, and the rebound by James. On the break, feed ahead for Treska. Treska ahead of the field, lays it up, won't go. Rebound collected by James. And it was out of bounds. Last touch by Hillsborough's Brooks Newell, and East Brunswick will get it back. Substitution as the freshman Jared Jones comes back on for Hillsborough. He replaces Dustin Shepard. Also returning for East Brunswick, Alan Baracco, the 6'1" junior, and he gives a breather to Brian Schuler.
And Schuler did a fine job again today.
4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Here's a Treska 3. Only fitting that he should hit another one. He's got 21 points on the strength of 6 three-pointers.
Count them, 6.
Here's the freshman Jones, gets himself free and banks it in.
And Jones's first 2 points of the second half.
He's now got 17. The defense on him is the reason that East Brunswick was able to pull away in the third quarter. Now Treska and Jones get tangled.
I'll tell you, considering all the bodies, good sportsmanship there. You see them slap 5 considering how much bodies have hit the floor, his game has been played well in a sportsmanship kind of way for both teams.
And you know what? I really point to the head coaches for that credit, because you know these guys go home and watch college basketball on their televisions and the NBA and the nasty things that guys do after they commit fouls or block shots in the NBA. You know, all showmanship for TV, and these guys are not doing any of that, and that's great to see.
And Caruso with a nice touch there.
Long two by Caruso gives him 9. This is completely turned into a rout in the second half. Here's a driving Brooks Newell, throws it up. No offensive foul called on Brooks Newell. His first personal.
And the Bears are at their average. They average 53 points per game, and right now they have 54.
They lead at 54-29. Just to put this in perspective, this was 23-23 at the half.
That's
Hillsborough has managed 6 points in the last 13 minutes.
Utterly amazing.
Here's Vangerud cutting, lays it in. Another great pass by Tresca.
I'll tell you, just the clinic right now.
Vangerud with 8. Hillsborough has no legs after their overtime game last night. This is the freshman Jones. East Brunswick's going to make a couple of substitutions. Get some of the more inexperienced guys some time. The freshman Jones misses the tray. James the rebound.
Gordy, which sort of brings up a point as an athletic director or whomever's responsible. Why would you have a game back-to-back where you have one that evening, then have one as early as it is the following day?
Very good question. One I don't have an answer for. You know, I guess the thinking was, since it's not a divisional game or a conference game for Hillsborough, but it turns out to be very pivotal because they're on the threshold of making the state tournament, and right now stand at 6-7, and in all likelihood would fall down to 6-8 today. As we see a new man of the game for Hillsborough, Jason Reinhardt, get a bucket. He's got 2. There's a 25-point lead for East Brunswick. Caruso tries to bounce it into Chris Gamboa, who's in the game. Kick ball. The new player's in. Damon Hart, who's a 5'10 junior for East Brunswick. Also, we see Doug Hurley come in now. He's a 6'3 junior as Caruso comes to the bench. Key Seymour is in, as is Alan Baracco. Hart inbound for Gamboa, put it up and in.
And the bench goes crazy. Gamboa scores.
Gamboa with the deuce. He's got 2. 58-31 the score.
Oh, it's been that type of day.
More sloppiness by Hillsborough as Jason Reinhardt couldn't catch up with it. Another turnover for the Raiders. Minute 53 to play. I'm still in awe that this game was tied at 23 at halftime.
Amazing.
There's a penetration move by Hart. Can't get the basket to go. And another turnover by Hillsborough. Not only are they tired, they're desperate.
But considering how tired they would expect it, you would expect them to be, still not a lot of timeouts. I mean, Coach Paul Parker hasn't called a lot of timeouts to really give them that break that they might need.
He called 1, and that's the only timeout called in this game. Minute 43 to go. I mean, we just zipped along in this game. 1, 2, 3. 3 free throws we've taken, which normally can slow down a game a lot. When the East Brunswick and Hillsborough girls matched up, we had loads of free throws, lots of fouls, lots of turnovers, and that slowed the game down tremendously, but not here. Nice basket.
Well, I'll tell you, Matt Pulowski.
Pulowski now with 4 points. And getting the foul will be Doug Hurley. His first personal. Pulowski to the free throw line to try and complete the 3-point play. This is just the 4th free throw of the game, and it comes with a minute 37 left to play.
Utterly amazing.
Free throw is no good by Pulowski. Rebound, Gamboa.
Got to watch the elbows.
Here's a 3 by Key Seymour. It's good.
Oh, and the bench is really up.
Key Seymour with the tray. 61-33. Hillsborough has scored 10 points here in the second half. Here's Jared Jones spinning, twisting, shooting. Can't get it to go. Rebound knocked out of the hands of Pulowski, who had it for a moment. Hillsborough gains it back. Here's Reinhardt feeding to Jones, lays it up and in. Jones gets a chippy. He's got 19. Minute 3 to go. Here's Doug Hurley. Hurley Feeds now for Baracco into Gamboa to a cutting Keith Seymour. It was knocked out of his hands.
I'll tell you, the Raiders have not stopped playing.
Here's Reinhardt with a scoop shot. No. Rebound for East Brunswick, but a foul on Baracco before all that. And Gamboa has just motioned to the bench. I think he needs a breather. So Baracco picks up the foul, his first. Team foul number 5. To the free throw line goes Jason Reinhardt, a 6'3" junior. His first trip to the free throw line. Here's free throw number 5 in this game. No good. 47 seconds left to go, and East Brunswick will improve to 10-5 on the season. Hillsborough will fall 2 below 500 at 6-8. Second free throw is also no good. Rebound tipped up and knocked out of bounds.
Ooh.
And a good effort that time by Doug Hurley to try to save it at bounds. Couldn't do it.
Hurley,
actually, they're going to say East Brunswick basketball. This side the ball was already out. So Hurley's efforts are rewarded. Much to the dismay of Hillsborough.
Well, I hope his hand's all right.
Pressure by Hillsborough. Keith Seymour had it knocked out of his hands, but East Brunswick gets it back. Hurley inbounds for Hart with 35 seconds left to play. Here's Baracco. Entry pass for Gamboa. Got in trouble because the big man put it on the floor. And it saved inbounds by Hillsborough. This is Jameel Mason. Mason racing ahead. The feed for Reinhardt. Scoop shot in the lane. Lays it up and in.
I'll tell you, Reinhardt has come off the bench and
now looked like that time Jared Jones was trying to make an open field tackle. Bringing back memories of his fall season in which he's a football player for Hillsborough.
You say he's a defensive back?
He's a defensive back, also a wide receiver. That run and shoot offense they have.
I see.
The wishbone, I should say. Tremendous, tremendous athlete. We saw him explode for 15 points in the first half. In fact, at one point, he had all 9 of Hillsborough's first 9 points. But they shut him down defensively here in the second half. He's been limited to just 4 points.
And he's finally going to get arrested. He's been in there practically the whole game. And Jared Jones, remember that name. He gets a hand from the crowd there. He's played a spirited game, but just too much to ask one man to handle.
Free throw is good by Damon Hart, his first point.
Damon Hart, a 5'10" junior.
Jared Jones leaves the game for Hillsborough with 2 fouls and 19 points. Second free throw also good by Hart. And we're down to the final 15 seconds. Dustin Shepard trying to save time, but his team trails by 26. Long 3 is no good by Mason. Gamboa the rebound. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Here comes Hart with the behind the back dribble. Feeds for Gamboa. 3-pointer at the buzzer, no good. And that's the game. East Brunswick wins it quickly and decisively in the second half. 63-37 in the second half. This was 23-23 at halftime. East Brunswick scores 40 points in the second half to Hillsborough's 14.
I bet you if you were to ask Bo Henning, though, he wouldn't be concerned about the points scored. What he would be concerned about is the defense that they employed during the second half. They have St. Joe's, their arch rival, coming up here on Monday, and to have the type of defensive effort they did have tonight has to bid well for them.
That was an outstanding effort by East Brunswick in the second half, pulling away from a 23-23 tie to win it. Here's how the scoring went. First for Hillsborough, they were led by Jared Jones, who had 19 points, by far and away the leader. He had 19 of their 37. That's more than half, but 15 of those came in the first half. He was held in check to just 4 points in the second half. So the freshman finishes with 19 to lead Hillsborough. After that, Matt Pulowski had 4, Jason Reinhardt had 4, and Dustin Shepard had 4. And with 2 points apiece, J.R. Spencer, Wes Kovac, and Justin Capozzi was slim pickings the rest of the way after Jared Jones scoring the total. For East Brunswick, they were led by Mike Tresca. He finished with 21 points. He's only averaging 9.5 a game, but he erupted for 21 here today, including 6 3-pointers. I believe he was 6 of 7 from 3-point range.
Just amazing.
After that, it was Brad Caruso who had 9. Dave Van Gerud and Ron Rosenstrauss each had 8. And Rosenstrauss added a pair of 3-pointers in that total. Then it was Bill Varela who had 6. Keith Seymour had 3. Brian Schuler had 4. Chris Gamboa had 2. Damon Hart had 2. And those are your scoring totals. Final thoughts on this game?
Just again, that's just a fine win for the Bears, the type of win that they need going into a game where they're going to meet St. Joe's. There's probably, you could say Piscataway, but I don't think there's anybody on their schedule that they'd love to beat more than St. Joe's. And St. Joe's handed it to them the first time they met. So if you're bow hitting, you got to be feeling really confident right now about how your team's playing.
That was a double overtime game against St. Joe's.
That's for sure.
Right?
That's for sure.
And
the interesting thing is they lost one of their key defenders, Doug Zukas, in the St. Joe's game, and he'll be coming back for the St. Joe's game. So maybe a good sign.
We'll see. So East Brunswick wins this one by the score of 63-37. With the victory, East Brunswick improves to 10-5 on the season. Hillsborough slips down to 6-8. Final score once again, 63-37, East Brunswick over Hillsborough. For Phil Hill, I'm Gordon Deal. Thanks for watching.